Small steps every day. That's the secret. Do you ever look at a monumental achievement, a towering success, or a seemingly impossible transformation and feel utterly overwhelmed? You see the finished masterpiece, the thriving business, the radiant health, the profound wisdom, and your mind immediately jumps to the chasm between where you are and there. You think, how did they do it? It must have been one giant leap, one sudden stroke of genius, one burst of superhuman effort. And then perhaps you feel paralyzed. You crave that massive overnight change, that dramatic overhaul. You dream of going from zero to hero in a single magnificent bound. But what if I told you that this desire for the grand, instantaneous leap is often the very thing that stops us? What if the real secret to all meaningful progress, to every enduring transformation, to building a life of purpose and peace, isn't found in monumental sprints, but in gentle, unwavering persistence? What if the hidden power lies not in going fast, but in simply never stopping? The truth is, the most profound changes in our lives, the deepest wells of personal growth, the building of anything truly worthwhile, they don't come from dramatic, sporadic bursts of effort. They come from something far quieter, far more accessible, and infinitely more powerful. Small steps taken every single day. That's the secret. Consistency doesn't just beat intensity, it absolutely transforms it. You don't need to go fast, you just don't stop. Let's embark on a journey, day by day, to truly understand this secret. Imagine it as a montage of your own potential. Day 1, the illusion of grand leaps. Today, let's confront the myth that you need to be perfect before you start, the myth that change has to be dramatic to be significant, the myth that you have to overhaul your entire life in one sweeping gesture to truly make progress. How often have you said, Monday, I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to work out for 2 hours, meditate for 1, learn a new language, declutter my entire house, and write a chapter of my book. It's a noble intention, isn't it? Full of energy, brimming with optimism. But by Tuesday morning, the 2-hour workout felt impossible. The meditation felt tedious. The language felt like a mountain of vocabulary. The decluttering felt overwhelming. And the book, well, the blank page stared back. What happens then? Guilt, self-reproach, the feeling that you failed spectacularly. So you give up. You wait for the next Monday, the next perfect moment, the next surge of motivation, and the cycle repeats. This isn't a failure of willpower. It's a failure of strategy. It's the consequence of believing that intensity is the key, when in reality, it's often the greatest obstacle to sustainable change. We overestimate what we can do in a day and underestimate what we can do in a year. This relentless pursuit of the Big Bang leaves us burned out, defeated, and further away from our goals than when we started. We crave the instant gratification, the immediate visible shift, but life, true life, operates on a different, more patient rhythm. Day 2, the power of tiny habits. Today, let's introduce the antidote to overwhelm. The power of tiny habits. This is where the magic truly begins. Forget the 2-hour workout. What if you committed to just 5 minutes of movement? Just 5 minutes. A gentle stretch, a short walk around the block, a few push-ups. So small it feels almost insignificant. So easy it feels almost silly to skip. Forget decluttering your entire house. What if you committed to just putting away one item that's out of place? Just one. Forget writing a chapter. What if you committed to writing one sentence? Forget learning a new language. What if you committed to learning one new word? These are micro actions. They don't demand massive willpower. They don't require an hour of dedicated time. They don't trigger your internal resistance. But here's the secret. They build momentum. They create a psychological win. Every single day you perform that tiny action, you are casting a vote for the person you want to become. You are telling your brain, this is something I do. And those votes, those consistent tiny signals, begin to rewire your identity. Think of it like building a bridge. You don't try to lay all the beams at once. You lay one plank, then another, then another. Each one by itself seems small, insignificant, but eventually you have a path. The power isn't in the size of the plank. It's in the unwavering commitment to lay a plank every day. This daily act of showing up, even in the smallest way, is the quiet revolution that transforms lives. It's about making the starting line so easy to cross that you simply cannot fail to begin. Day 3, battling resistance and perfectionism. Today, we acknowledge the internal saboteurs, resistance and perfectionism. These are the voices that whisper, it's not perfect enough to start. You don't know everything yet. You might fail. Why bother if you can't do it flawlessly? These voices thrive on the idea of grand leaps, because if the leap is big enough, the fear of falling can be a convenient excuse for never jumping at all. This is where the power of small steps becomes your ultimate weapon. When the goal is just 5 minutes of movement, the voice of perfectionism has very little to critique. When the goal is one sentence, the fear of writing a bad novel loses its grip. When you commit to a tiny, almost laughable action, you bypass the psychological barriers that stop you from starting. The secret here is showing up imperfectly. It's about prioritizing consistency over perfection. It's about understanding that done is better than perfect, especially when perfect means never starting. Did you only do 2 minutes of movement instead of 5? Great, you showed up. Did you write a terrible sentence? Excellent, you wrote. You didn't let the fear of inadequacy stop your daily practice. This daily act of imperfect consistency builds a muscle you desperately need, the muscle of doing. It teaches you that progress isn't about flawlessness. It's about showing up, making an effort, learning, and adapting. It's about building a streak, not a sprint. Every time you push past the internal resistance and take that tiny step, you are retraining your brain, telling it that action, even imperfect action, is preferable to stagnation. This consistent push through, no matter how small, is the engine of true and lasting change. Day 4, the compounding effect. Today, let's explore the true magic of small steps, the compounding effect. This is where seemingly insignificant daily actions accumulate into monumental results over time. It's like compound interest, but for your life. Imagine putting just $1 into a savings account every single day. Doesn't sound like much, does it? But over a year, that's $365. Over 10 years, that's $3,650. Over 30 years, with even modest interest, it could be a significant sum. The true power isn't in the single dollar, but in the relentless, unwavering act of putting it in every day. Now apply this to your goals. 5 minutes of learning a language every day. Over a year, that's over 30 hours of dedicated learning. In 5 years, you could be fluent. 1 push-up every day, then 2, then 3. In a year, you've done hundreds, if not thousands, of push-ups, building strength far beyond what a single sporadic workout could achieve. Writing 1 sentence every day. In a year, that's 365 sentences. That's a rough draft of a short story, a collection of poems, or the beginnings of a book. Reading 10 pages of a book every day. In a year, you've finished dozens of books, accumulating wisdom and knowledge far beyond those who only read occasionally. Saving just a few dollars every day. The small change in your pocket consistently saved can grow into a significant nest egg over years, opening up opportunities you never thought possible. The magic happens in the long game. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results from your small steps. But trust the process. Trust the power of consistency. Each tiny action is like a single drop of water. By itself, it's nothing, but hundreds, thousands, millions of drops consistently falling can carve canyons through solid rock. This is the undeniable force of consistency. It's a slow burn, not an explosion, but its results are unshakable and profound. Your future self will thank you for the small, consistent efforts your present self made. Day 5, navigating setbacks and imperfect days. Today we face a crucial reality. Life happens. You will miss a day. You will face unexpected challenges. You will feel demotivated. You will stumble. This is not a failure of your strategy. It's simply part of being human. The secret isn't to never fall. It's to not stop forever when you do. Let's say your goal is 5 minutes of movement every day. Yesterday, you were sick, you do it. The old mindset would say, well, I messed up. The streak is broken. Might as well give up until next Monday. The small steps mindset says, okay, I missed yesterday. That's one day. What's the smallest step I can take today to get back on track? Maybe it's just 1 minute. Maybe it's just a mental commitment to try again tomorrow. The key here is what's called the never miss twice rule, or the 2-day rule. If you miss one day, forgive yourself immediately. Don't dwell on it. Don't let it become a reason to quit entirely. Your only job is to ensure you don't miss 2 days in a row. This simple rule keeps the momentum alive. prevents a minor slip from becoming a complete derailment, and reinforces the habit even in the face of imperfection. This approach acknowledges that life is messy. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about having compassion for yourself when you falter, and then having the discipline to gently but firmly guide yourself back to your path. The strength isn't in the absence of mistakes. It's in the ability to recover from them quickly. This flexibility is what makes consistency sustainable, turning potential setbacks into mere blips on the radar. It's about remembering that even a giant oak tree started as a tiny seed and endured countless storms, never stopping its slow, persistent push towards the sun. Day 6. Celebrating consistency, not just outcomes. Today, let's shift our focus from the elusive future outcome to the undeniable power of the daily act itself. We often defer our happiness, telling ourselves, I'll be happy when I reach X goal. But when your strategy is small steps every day, the celebration isn't just at the finish line. It's in the consistent effort, in the act of showing up for yourself, day in and day out. Celebrate the fact that you did your 5 minutes of movement today. Celebrate that you wrote your 1 sentence. Celebrate that you read your 10 pages. These are not trivial achievements. These are acts of immense self-discipline, self-care, and self-belief. Each small step is a victory in itself, a tangible demonstration of your commitment to your own growth. When you learn to celebrate the consistency, you stop needing external validation for your efforts. You find deep satisfaction in the process, not just the result. This transforms the journey from a grueling race to an empowering dance. The joy is found in the doing, in the simple act of showing up, not just in the eventual outcome. This builds intrinsic motivation, making your progress self-sustaining. The sense of accomplishment becomes a daily reward, reinforcing the habit and making it easier to continue. You are building not just a skill or a goal, but a powerful, unshakable belief in your own capacity for consistent progress. This makes you resilient, joyful, and truly unstoppable. Day 7. The Unstoppable Force. Today, as our week of revelation concludes, let's bring it all together. The real secret to profound, lasting change, to building the life you truly desire, is incredibly simple, yet often overlooked. Small steps, taken every single day. Consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't need to go fast, you just don't stop. Imagine the force of a small, persistent stream. It may seem insignificant, but over eons it carves canyons through solid rock. It doesn't rush, it simply keeps flowing, day after day, year after year. That stream is you, when you commit to small, consistent actions. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it. It's about taking that tiny, imperfect step and then taking another one tomorrow. It's about trusting the compounding effect, the invisible magic of consistent effort. It's about forgiving yourself when you falter and gently, immediately getting back on track. It's about celebrating the process, the act of showing up, the unwavering commitment to yourself. This is the path to truly learning that language, truly building that business, truly getting in shape, truly writing that book, truly cultivating inner peace. It's not about superhuman effort or sudden bursts of motivation. It's about the quiet, relentless power of showing up, one tiny step at a time. It's about turning dreams into reality, not through sheer force, but through consistent, unwavering dedication. It's about understanding that every giant leap is simply a culmination of countless small, deliberate steps. So what's one small step you can take today? Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when conditions are perfect. What's one tiny, almost laughably easy action you can commit to right now to move towards the life you envision? 1 minute of meditation? 1 sentence written? 1 item decluttered? 1 push-up? Choose it. Do it. And then choose it again tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, because the truth is you don't need to go fast. You just don't stop. And that, my friend, is the secret to everything.